Well, all right, and welcome back to AD Nightly with yours truly, Ben. What's going on? I'm watching my beardy buddy eat some brekkie right here. My buddy Jesus off the screen. If you're a pet owner and have not considered getting a bearded dragon as a pet, I would say try it out. It's pretty cool. Nice pets. Yeah, and they're really more like interactive than I thought. I thought it would just kind of be, like a fish tank or something like that. But he's my little buddy. Take him out, and he's like all, adventurous, like a cat would be. And you walk into the room, and he's looking at you. Very cool pets. So, just I guess a shout out to bearded dragons and those who keep them. Very cool. Look at my unlock screen. Let's see if I can get that on camera real quick. Hold up. Look at that. You see? It's a cutie. Well, anyway, again, this is AD Nightly, and welcome to it, where I give my curt opinions on massive to, regular style issues, and then also some good old-fashioned opinions, too. Because you love those. Everyone's got at least two opinions, right? You got to have like a backup opinion on things. Retorts. You know. So I'm going to try to get to 7 stories right now and then give myself a little promo about the Substack I'm going to write at sometime. We'll see when I get to that. Whenever I get to it. All right, just like today, I was like, do I nap before I stream, or you know what? No, I'm just gonna stream. Decisions every day and into the future. Okay, this is from abcnews.go. Some 55,000 Los Angeles County workers walk out in a 2-day strike, pausing operations. This happened a couple days ago. Approximately 55,000 of Los Angeles County workers have taken to the streets downtown in a massive 2-day protest affecting a range of industries, from public services and healthcare to libraries and park management. Members of the labor union SEIU Local 721 began the strike Monday night, saying in a press release that failed contract negotiations and 44 alleged labor law violations sparked the walkout. The strike also comes nearly 4 months after the devastating spate of wildfires burning through the Los Angeles County in January, causing billions in damage and a strain on public workers, the union said. Now I'm like in my head, I know I read this story. I can't remember if I read it on air or not, on stream or not. Big difference, huge difference. This is the workforce that got LA County through the emergency after emergency, the January wildfires, public health emergencies, mental health emergencies, social service emergencies, and more. David Green, SEIU's executive director and president, who worked as an LA County children's social worker for more than 2 decades, said in the union's release. So you probably heard of this, saw this. It's a giant swath of people, a real big sector of people who take care of the town, the city of LA. So, I think great turnout for that. And, that's what you want to see, people taking action and just saying, hey, something doesn't make sense. Can you at least acknowledge that this doesn't make sense? Good on them. Some 55,000 people protesting, striking, I guess. Either way, up to this story now, Denver7.com, UPS announces 20,000 job cuts in 73 facility closures amid fewer Amazon shipments. So, as we all know, fewer Amazon shipments because of the tariffs. As UPS and Amazon scaled down their partnership with UPS, UPS faces a challenging market, prompting significant workforce reductions and facility closures. So UPS is announcing plans to reduce its workforce by about 20,000 employees and close 73 facilities, the company said when announcing its financial statements for the first quarter of 2025. The reduction of 20,000 employees represents 4% of the company's workforce. The workforce reduction comes amid a period of uncertainty for UPS. The company did not provide an update to its 2025 projections while releasing its quarterly earnings. Yeah, this is just really, really sad because for as long as I can remember, UPS has been that kind of a place where they're always hiring. You know, it's like I could get a job doing shipping or whatever overnight at UPS. If I need to get 2 jobs, if I need to get 3 jobs, UPS is always out there. And it's really messed up. Not a good place. When UPS is saying that they're shutting down, it's not cool. It's scary. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's necessary. It's the next story. Here's a kind of cool one. I think this was under our Made Me Smile. Nigerian teen with autism praised by the president as he breaks a massive art record. So, a 15-year-old Nigerian boy is using art to spark important conversations in his community. Kenyaya Chukwu Tagbo Okeke Kiki who also goes by Kanye, achieved the Guinness World Record title for largest art canvas in November 2024. On April 2nd, which is recognized as World Autism Acceptance Day, his art was publicly unveiled and he was formally presented with a GWR certificate. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition impacting social language. Okay, everybody knows by this point what autism is. I have cousins, friends with autistic kids, and I'm on the spectrum as well. It's and you are too. How about that? Everybody who's watching this, that's why they call it a spectrum. It's it's kind of like a range of things. I don't know. For me, it's easy to understand, but for a lot of people, they're just like, I'm not on the spectrum. Okay, well, you must be just right in the middle of the circle of the spectrum, I guess. So that's fun. But yeah, back to this story, which is really cool. And go check it out on Instagram. I'm sure if you just here's what you do. Google impossibility is a myth, and that's what he called this gigantic art piece, which is I'm going to see how much area this covered here. So the previous record holder for largest art canvas had a canvas that measured 9,652 meters, and the canvas Kanye painted on was 12,303.87 meters. So that's pretty awesome. And yeah, it's a real cool piece of art, I thought, and just amazing, a feat and a great source of confidence and achievement. Congrats for the world record. That's awesome. Okay. Ooh, another rough one from APnews.com, not from in the White House. Trump administration cut $1 billion in school mental health grants, citing conflict of priorities. The Trump administration is moving to cancel $1 billion in school mental health grants, saying they reflect the priorities of the previous administration. Grant recipients were notified Tuesday that the funding will not be continued after this year. A gun violence bill signed by Democratic President Joe Biden in 2022 sent $1 billion to grant programs to help schools hire more psychologists, counselors, and other mental health workers. A new notice said an education department review of programs found they violated the purpose of civil rights law, conflicted with the department's policy of prioritizing merit and fairness, and amounted to an inappropriate use of federal money. The cuts were made public in social media posts from a conservative strategist, Christopher Rufo, who claimed the money was used to, quote, advance, quote, left-wing racialism and discrimination, end quote. He posts excerpts from several grant documents setting goals to hire certain numbers of non-white counselors or pursue other diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. Yeah, I'm just going to give my opinion here. You read the rest of this on AP. or wherever. It's just insane. Like, studies have proven that no matter what race you are, uh, about like many of us are more comfortable with doctors who are the same race of us. I'm not particularly that way. Anybody who's devoted their life to medicine, I'll give them a chance to be my doctor. But it's just been proven that people trust and relate more to, especially a psychologist who may be the same race as them. So that's why it's important to focus on diversity in in the workplace in really every industry. So I mean, it's just to say that people in general, even if it's, I don't care that there's that racial element boiled into it. It's something that you have to ensure happens, and also it's a great fight against the mental health epidemic, you could call it, just to have that on hand psychology. So psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever you need, and really just another terrible, like, what. It would be different if they just did these things quietly, but like that they're so proud of them. It's very annoying. There's my noodles. This next story is a kind of happy one. Columbia student Mohsen Madawi freed after federal judge orders release. Palestinian, a lawful permanent U.S. resident, was detained and ordered deported despite not being charged with crime. Mohsen Madawi, a Palestinian green card holder and Columbia University student who was detained for his activism, walked out of immigration detention on Wednesday after a federal judge in Vermont ordered his release. Madawi had been detained and ordered deported by the Trump administration on 14th of April despite not being charged with a crime. The judge said, quote, "The 2 weeks of detention so far demonstrate great harm to a person who has been charged with no crime," said Jeffrey Crawford, a U.S. district judge, at a hearing Wednesday. According to ABC News, "Mr. Madawi, I will order you released." Madawi was arrested by ICE in Colchester, Vermont, while attending a naturalization interview. If that's not ironic. Like, again, ridiculous. Is one of a number of international students who've been detained in recent months for their advocacy on behalf of Palestinians. The Trump administration is attempting to deport them using an obscure statute that gives the Secretary of State the right to revoke the legal status of many in the country deemed a threat to foreign policy. And then, there's more news on that. But so Madawi was released because he didn't commit any crime. Let's see, I'm going to skip to the end of the article because they had a good quote at the end here. Okay. So to end off this article, and go to The Guardian, again, theguardian.com, to read more about the release of Mr. Madawi, who was born and raised in a refugee camp in the West Bank, spoke to NPR this week from a Northwest State Correctional Facility in St. Albans, Vermont, saying, quote, "I'm centered internally, I'm at peace," Madawi told NPR. "While I still know deeply that this is a level of injustice that I am facing, I have faith that justice will prevail." Also this week, a federal judge in New Jersey, ruled that a lawsuit filed by the Columbia University graduate and Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil, who is also challenging his detention and deportation order, can proceed. The Tufts University graduate student Rumeysa Ozturk and Georgetown scholar Badar Khan Suri also remain detained and continue to fight against their deportation, which the Trump administration is pursuing on the same foreign policy grounds. Just insane. We saw bad stuff under Biden as far as crackdown on the protests, but this is just, it's like the worst PR to be like, a human, I don't know. But good news for Mr. Madawi, so I hope that you need good examples of stuff. How about that? How about this? CNBC.com has an article, Weekly Jobless Claims to Surge to 241,000, more than expected, in latest sign of economic trouble. First-time filings for unemployment insurance totaled a seasonally adjusted 241,000 for a week ending in April 26th, up 18,000 from the prior period and higher than the estimate for which was 225,000. Continuing claims, which run a week behind and provide broader view on layoff trends, rose 1.92 million, up 83,000 to the highest level since 2021, Biden's first year. So yeah, more about unemployment if you look into those numbers, and then I'll just give my opinion on it. Yeah, unemployment goes up and down. Now is probably not the best time to be looking for a job. I know, I was just doing it. It was pretty hard to find a job, even though I think I'm overqualified for a lot of positions, to be honest. It's all good. I'm happy with what I'm doing here, and hopefully this pod chat takes off, and I could tie myself to the balloon that carries and make a decent living, and then also I'll still probably work at night too, because I like money. I work for my money. Work hard for my money. You gotta treat me right. All right, and the serious story to end the thing here. The stream? Yeah, the show that we're doing, which is AD Nightly. Again, thanks for listening. I'm live on all podcast platforms, so check it out, download, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can go to my contacts page on thebenologicalsociety.org, and it's associated with the RSS feed of this podcast. And you could book me for stuff. I don't know, comedy. You want me to come speak it? I don't know, just speak somewhere. That's what I'm doing now. And a serious story to end it, and then I'm going to have just a little talking about my next Substack that I'm going to write, which I gave a little preview of that on Tumblr already, but I'm going to give even more of a preview now. abcnews.go.com has a story about critically ill 9/11 first responders that are being turned away from a program meant to save them. So I've heard of this. It's a big focus of Jon Stewart's. I've seen him talk about this on multiple occasions. But okay, a 9/11 responder with life-threatening pancreatic cancer was told this week that he couldn't start chemotherapy. 2 others with new cancer diagnoses were also denied treatment, according to Dr. David Present, Chief Medical Officer of the New York City Fire Department and Director of the World Trade Center Health Program. We postponed chemotherapy for a firefighter this week, hoping this could be fixed. The President also said he's too young for Medicare, and this delay may cost him his life. All 3 patients were part of the federally funded World Trade Center Health Program, a system created to care for those who risked their lives on September 11th, 2001. But the program has come to a standstill, President said. Quote, "We have all been directed not to process any new certifications." An internal email that was shared with ABC News said, to receive care through a program, a responder or survivor must first enroll and then have their illness formally certified by a federal program as being related to 9/11 exposure. Certification is a separate and critical step. Clinics must submit medical evidence such as biopsy results or lung scans, and only after the program approves it can treatment move forward and or compensation claims be filed. I'm just going to stop it here because, how much more do you need to know that, man, our healthcare system is a mess. We can't even take care of the people. We got to, show me your papers. Stop. We're deporting health patients back to out of the hospital is crazy. I really hate it. It's stupid. It's why you get these giant movements like the Mangione thing that's happening, the Mangione trial. And that's, man, it's such a crazy time. You know, there's always some crazy trial or something going on. You know, the 90s had the Menendez's and, you know, OJ, all that stuff. But, yeah, that's what's happening now. And, yeah, they're turning away 9/11 first responders. What the heck, guys? That's just not right. It ain't right. It's not cool. And I hate it. And it should definitely not be that way. And there's no good argument for it to be that way. There really isn't. Can we just like not and say we did about a lot of this bullshit? And all right, for the last little bit of time I got here, I'm going to talk about the next Substack. And you can find the Substack, search Ben Boquist. It's free. Subscribe. I make it available to anyone who wants to read it. And yeah, you can also donate. You could subscribe for money as well. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Wouldn't hurt anything. Comparison. Okay, so this is my idea. Is about, you know, there's this whole idea of competition for happiness. You know, it's a lot of things here. So I'm gonna give you some prompts, perhaps. Let's say that. And you know, something that you could probably type into AI and have it write what I'm going to write about, and then we'll see which one is better. So the happiness economy, if you understand that kind of thing, the fictitious happiness economy, that is. I'll come up with a quippy title. Try to. Okay, and these are the key words I got for it. Comparison, art, work, personal, advertisement, materialism, analogy, correlation, reality, choice, base, and excess. So again, I'm going to do a happiness economy, which again, it's like, you know, I hate to be saying the dumb cliche shit, but, you know, happiness is a choice. It really is. Obviously, you could be happier under better circumstances. That's something you actively work towards, and change in good ways. And prepare yourself for possible change in bad ways, too. How about that? Put a nice little bow on this episode for Ben Boquist. All right, AD Nightly, thanks again for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow. And again, like, subscribe. Or don't. I'm going to keep doing this.